back, be reader, writer, or watch, and welcome to another episode of Isle of Dogs, I guess. New series, just for Isle of Dogs. Probably going to make one of my favourite films now, because of all the videos, and I know it's only a second. But there's been 2 new things coming out for it, which is one you can see at the bottom there, which is, okay, it's worth it, a clip. I'm going to be doing that next week. And this one, it's the Isle of Dogs, the Clan of Chief. Now, quickly, I just want to go to the other trailer here, and just...
Get it, ever.
That's really sorry, I should have done that before. Let's just watch this. I've gone to a certain part in it, because I want to first show you guys everything in the trailer, well, one specific part of the trailer, with links to the Clan of Chief.
You're Rex. You're King. You're Duke. You're Boss. I'm Chief. We're a pack of scary, indestructible alpha dogs.
Atari Kobayashi, you hero.
Okay, so then, we saw the names of all the dogs there, but let's just quickly go to here. And just watch this, and I'll stop it like at the point I need to.
I used to sleep on a lamb's wool beanbag next to an electric space heater. That's my territory. I'm an indoor dog.
I starred in 22 consecutive Doggy Chop commercials. Look at me now. I couldn't land an audition.
Okay, that's it there. Let me rewind a little bit. So, King has just become probably the most important dog out of the whole bunch. So, no, sorry, this is taking so long. It's a short video, so it's hard to do.
I starred in 22 consecutive Doggy Chop commercials. Look at me now. I couldn't land an audition.
22 consecutive Doggy Chop commercials. The same thing that... I'm just going to call her Puff, because that's the only thing I can think of when I see that hair. I'm sorry. But Doggy Chop is linked to this board right next to the other 5 dogs who are meant to come back. This gives us far more information. So we now know that there's the 6 main dogs, Rex and Chief, which is number 1 dog, and the dog at the bottom here. Hopefully you guys can see where my mouse is circling. These 2 we've gotten information about. We know that we think that Rex is probably going to be the main character, seeing as he's the one who's gotten some of the most lines. And Chief we learn a lot more about in the trailer also. But now King here, there's also Duke and this other one I can't remember. I'm sorry. But now King has also gotten something very important about him. The fact that he was in a Doggy Chop commercial. Which is linked, and if you remember my theory from last time, that I think that it's all Doggy Chop and Puppy Snaps have been poisoned by evil cats to go and stop these, poisoned by cats to try to get rid of dogs. Now, also, another thing I noticed while I was looking at this, if you look over here, I really hope you guys can see my mouse, so this is completely useless. You see the main character, I think it was Kobayashi was his last name. I'll just call him that, because that's what I think it is. You see him really badly hurt in hospital here. So this, like, adds to my theory that Puff's story and Kobayashi's story are 2 completely different ones. It starts with Kobayashi's story about going to the Isle of Dogs, but that's all being told by Puff here, and she's the one explaining it all to the audience, because then we see later in the original trailer that there's a bunch of kids all, like, standing together. That's just my theory. So, like, it goes Kobayashi's story, then her story, and then that's the big ending. And these are the 5 main dogs, and then there's also Spot. So let's just watch into this, and because there's a bit more information.
Was the lead mascot for an undefeated high school baseball team. I lost all my spirit. I'm depressing.
I only ask for what I've always had, a balance.
I just noticed something really quick. I'm very sorry, but Duke, I think his name was. This is King, Rex, Chief. I think this guy's Duke. He sneezed, so one thing that might be around Duke's whole character, like flow, is he might be getting the dog flu, which has been what's being sent all these guys to the island, which is why they're letting him be the one who wears this coat to keep him warm so he doesn't get sicker. And also, the whole title of this, the Clan of Chief, is shows that there are clans on the island. I think there's a Sick Dogs, there was a Bulldog clan, or Boxers, I don't remember. The Clan of Chief and like the main clan, which we saw, but like the really wise dog just only has one eye, who probably is also sick.
Diet, regular grooming, and a general physical once a year.
You're talking like a bunch of housebroken pets.
You don't understand. How could you? You're a...
Go ahead, say it. I'm a stray.
Okay, so that's basically the whole trailer. But this gives more stuff about Chief. He seems, so what it seems like here is this scene here is taking place at the very beginning of the film when Rex first lands on the island, and Chief here is explaining to everyone, but Chief is the only dog that was astray before this whole thing actually happened, which makes me begin to think that what happens to Chief is Spot. So if we go over here, we have a direct link between Chief and Spot. Now this makes me think that Chief is Spot. He's just gotten so filthy from all the mud that once he gets a wash, he turns back into Spot because he's obviously been on the island the longest. It's a kind of Chief. He is Chief. This makes me think that because Chief is Spot, we see him later in the trailer with Spot. We see later in the trailer, he has the same voice as Chief. I don't remember who the voice actor is, but it's the same. Well, it seems like the same voice actor, making me think that Chief is Spot. And if I get this right, I'm going to be really annoyed at myself because I'm basically spoiling the film for myself. So that's what I got from this next trailer. Next time will be the last episode before this film comes out. Actually, no, we'll have one more week. Well, I'm so excited. I'm going to see this film the day after it releases. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Hope you all had a great time watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll be out. Goodbye.